Hi, I'm Caren. Welcome to Texas Farmstead Living. On today's video, I want to share with you how we feed our old-fashioned Jersey cows. This video is one of the most important videos I've done about Jersey cows, so please watch until the end. At the moment, we are in drought with a record number of consecutive high temperature days. It is late summer and fall is around the corner. Grazing is anything but perfect. The very most important takeaway I want for you today is that you have to work out your own feed program. Those of us who have had dairy cows for a very long time can give you good advice, but we don't live where you live. We all have different rainfall amounts and inputs available. Plus, all cows are different and their genetics play a major role in how you feed them. Today, I am going to discuss with you the important points and some tips that will help you navigate feeding your family milk cow. Another very important point I want you to remember is you must always be evaluating your cow's diet on a daily basis and plan for change earlier rather than later. I would like for you to watch a video about how to score body condition of dairy cows produced by Penn State. This is a valuable tool for you to refer to. In this video, I'm going to present three main topics. The first is 5 things to consider when planning your cow's diet. The second thing is how we are currently feeding our dairy cows. And number 3, I will share some strategies to help you have more options in feeding your family cow. We raise old-fashioned grass-fed Jersey dairy cows. For the last 15 years, we have added grass-fed genetics to our herd. They are old-fashioned style Jerseys, not the kind of cow you will see at conventional dairies. They are low-input cows. So keep in mind we have grass-fed genetics and we value regenerative agriculture. Our farm is located in a semi-arid climate with periods of drought in the last 5 years. I am very committed to the grass-fed movement, which is wonderful, but if there is no rain in your area and your farm is grass-based, then you have to make a new plan. Remember, when you see a farmer that is completely grass-based, they are educated and trained on how to do this effectively, as well as have improved grass-fed genetics. I went through a holistic management international program and learned how to manage grazing. I highly recommend investing in education. There are 5 things to consider when planning your dairy cow's diet. Number 1, you must consider your geographic location. What is your rainfall amount? Are you in an arid, semi-arid climate? Weather, drought, flooding, snow? Number 2, is your soil and grasses nutrient dense with minerals and trace minerals required by a dairy cow? In our area, we have little rainfall and short grass, but it is super nutrient dense, and the cows don't need as much to satisfy their nutritional requirements. Ask your veterinarian about this. Our county has its own mineral mix for cattle. Number 3, will your cow have access to pasture or be in a confined area? Will she depend on all inputs coming from you? If your cow has good grazing and you only need to supplement, then that looks a lot different than complete feeding. Number 4, what feed sources are available to you? Do you have high quality hay and feed available? In our area, we do not have access to high quality hay. We don't buy hay with any kind of spraying, such as for grass burrs, so we are very limited. There is no farming in our area, so we are very dependent on having organic alfalfa pellets shipped in, and expensive. We have Azure Standard available for grain. Number 5 is genetics. Now this is very important, and when I first started off with milking cows, I was not aware of how important this was. So if you have a modern or conventional type dairy cow, then chances are that she has grown up eating a grain-based diet. So you will probably need to continue that diet, or at least if you're going to transition, it would probably have to be very slow, because these modern style cows are, they put all of their energy into producing milk, which can be like sometimes 8 gallons a day, and body condition is secondary. So she will need additional inputs to maintain an adequate body condition. My grass genetic Jerseys will produce a moderate amount of milk while maintaining an adequate body condition. Now, if it rains in my area, my cows can actually go from spring through fall without, really any inputs other than maybe some minerals. That's not the case this year, but in the past, they will stay out and graze in the pasture and be just in fabulous condition going into winter. Now remember, all dairy cows are going to lose some body condition when they are at the peak milk production, which is around 2 or 3 months. That is completely normal. During this period of her peak production, it's a really good time for you to score her body condition. Sometimes grass-fed works for us, and sometimes it doesn't when it rains, but that's okay. We just have to be creative and come up with a new plan. But we always take a practical approach to feeding our dairy cows. Our current feeding strategy. What we desire and what has happened in the past is the cows graze all summer and are in very good condition going into winter. But that is not what we have right now. Right now there is standing dry grass, so they are going out to graze, but we have to supplement with hay and alfalfa. I am watching them daily. I'm watching their milk production and body condition, because they all are nursing large calves. Now our cows usually eat about 30 pounds of hay a day, so we are planning for this to happen going into winter. If the cow is not maintaining condition, then we will give her 0.5% of her body weight of soaked grain. This doesn't sound like much, but if you give it every day, it will make a big difference. The feed ration is half Milo and half barley. We grind it, then soak it in apple cider vinegar and molasses and water, And we soak it half a day or overnight if we're going to feed it in the morning. But I like to feed this grain ration in the evening. Our cows are offered a dairy mineral, Redmond salt, and the local mineral that I mentioned as well. We will feed this in the winter or if needed due to drought. It is important to keep your cow in good condition because if she falls behind, it is hard to catch her up, especially in winter and when she is lactating. Take a few minutes daily to observe your cow. Okay, here are the calves. They're standing and haltered nicely while their mothers are being milked. Okay, I want to take a look at these two cows. The cow on the left, they're half sisters. They're exactly the same age. The cow on the left, I believe she's in really good condition, and I do not think she needs any kind of grain supplement. I think she's thriving with just some hay and standing grass and pasture and a little bit of alfalfa pellets. Now the cow I milk, right here, this dark one, I think she's borderline for what I like, and so I do think that she's going to need a little bit of just 0.5% of her body weight, and the reason for that is because rumen health. So I don't want to do anything that can cause the pH of rumen to go off or for her to get acidosis. So that is the reason, but I do feel like she does need a little bit more. Her hair coat's really, really beautiful. She's still got milk, but I just want to, I want to make sure to, get a handle on this early rather than later. Another thing you're wondering is how often do I have to give my cows grain? Actually, it is almost never. Their genetics I'm super happy with. They do really, really well considering our conditions are absolutely terrible. But it's usually only if I milk in the winter, that's understandable. And then also if things are really, really in harsh conditions like right now, and if they have, a really large calf that I really can't wean yet. But I'd have to say there's only like maybe this cow and maybe when I'm up in winter that I will just give a tiny bit of grain to. These two older cows, they're Bruno daughters, and hello. And they're older, but I don't think this cow's never had anything. She just grazes, and so I'm real happy with our grass-fed genetics. But there are times when you have to do something different, and the answer is never to just give them more alfalfa pellets. That's not the answer, to just keep on giving them an unlimited amount. Number 1, we sprout sunflower seeds. You can buy these like at Tractor Supply or at Azure Standard. Number 2, of course you can give her more grain if you think it's necessary. Number 3, we will wean the calf a little early, but not earlier than 6 months, instead of waiting until it is 8 months old. Number 4, we dry up our cows before winter. We calve in the spring. We give them a longer dry period. Number 5, last year we planted triticale for winter grazing, and it worked very well. And we plan to do this again. Managed grazing works wonderfully. We leave pasture to grow for at least half a year, up to 1 year, to save forages. So in time of no rain, we have something to fall back upon. We have a wheat farm where winter grazing cattle works without lots of inputs. I know this is a lot of information, but it's very important. If you want to know more about feeding your cow, get the book Keeping the Family Cow by Joanne Groman. Thank you for watching, and please share this information with all your friends who have dairy cows. From our Texas farmstead to you, have a blessed day, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.